My name's Kelli Hammonds. I'm 19 years old. I go to the University of North Georgia, and I've been racing cars since I was 9 years old. When I first started racing, I wasn't really into it. I just wanted to do it because it was something that I felt like I should do, you know? Like my dad grew up doing it. My grandfather, he did it, he built cars, so it was just kind of something. My uncle, he races, he still races, so it was just something that I wanted to try, at least take a shot at. My dad just kind of came across quarter midget racing, actually by here at Lanier. He was going to a race at Lanier, and he noticed the light poles up at the top of the hill, which is MAQMA, and he wanted to know more about it, so he did his research, and then he asked me probably a week and a half or so later, do you want to race? You know, is this something that you want to do? And then I finally gave in. I said yes, and a week later we had a race car sitting in our garage. So I started racing when I was 9 years old. You can start racing quarter midgets when you're 5. I raced from when I was 9 to 16, so I raced for about 7 years doing quarter midgets, and then the following years until now I've tried outlaw kart racing, and then right now I'm doing go-kart. So go-kart racing was something I never thought I would ever actually do. I was never into it because it's really not the safest thing that you can do. I've always been used to having a roll cage around me and seat belts and that kind of thing. But I gave it a shot, and I ended up really liking it. Right now we've been trying some asphalt stuff with it. I've ran on concrete before, so primarily I run on dirt with go-karts, but I'm enjoying it. I'm still learning. It's a really big learning curve. It's so different than what I've been racing. Outlaw kart racing, if I had my choice, that's what I would be doing. Outlaw kart racing is way different than what I've ever tried. You know, you have the wing, you're not on springs or anything, or not springs, well, there's no shocks on outlaw karts. So it's open-wheeled racing, it's on dirt, you're going sideways into the turns, you're wheeling it. The racetrack that I race those on is it's like a historical place, and I don't know if you could say historical, but more so just somewhere where people who in NASCAR, drivers like Kyle Larson, he's ran at that track up in Millbridge, North Carolina. That's where I race those. But yeah, we still have it. We still have the outlaw car. My dad, he just bought some parts to fix it because the motor blew up. So it's kind of expensive, and it's a lot for being in college and being so busy. Outlaw kart racing wasn't really feasible for us at the time. But for sure, if I had an opportunity to keep running outlaw karts, even though I don't have a lot of experience doing it, I would absolutely love to do it again. It was super fun, super cool. So I usually say I'm like a single mom of like 10, 15, 20, because all these kids are like my kids. I've seen them all grown up. Some of them grew up watching me race. So a lot of these kids are younger, but the ones that live out of state, they're getting older and they're moving on, and it's sad. I get emotional over it. MAQMA stands for Metro Atlanta Quarter Midget Association. I always say, you know, I raced quarter midgets for 7 years, but I never left the sport. So I've been around here for about 10 years. I've seen a lot of different things change. MAQMA has changed. We've gone through different, presidencies, and that's really caused a lot of change within the community, within the club, and what they do here at MAQMA. The main reason why I come here is because I can't step away from the sport for some reason. I grew up doing this, and I just fell in love with it, and I know I can relate to these kids. So I'm kind of like the older figure. They know I'm 19, they know I'm older. I don't look like it, but I can relate to them. And so I come out here because it's for the kids, and I love the kids. So my favorite part about being here at MAQMA is probably just because these people, it's local. So these are local people. They know the area, they know MAQMA, they know kind of the history behind MAQMA and quarter midget racing. And some of these kids, just because they are local, they see me all the time. The local kids are more, I'm really close to some of the local kids and whatnot, just because I'm here all the time. But yeah, I think my favorite part is just the fact that it is local, it's a local thing, and it's a great way for people in the community to come out and experience this. And not a lot of people know about MAQMA, which is unfortunate. But yeah, it's a great way to get kids off the street, and in a race car.
Oh, there goes the steering wheel.
Put it back on. Quarter midget racing has done a lot for me personally, and I think that's one reason why I can't really step away, is because I've learned so many life lessons that I use off the track daily, in my social life, in my work life, in school. This was something that always kept me in school. You know, I had to make good grades at school to keep racing, so it was like an incentive, and that's how it is for most of these kids, is that the only way that, you know, mom and dad's going to let them race is, you know, you got to make an A or B in their classes and that kind of thing. So it's a great way, like I said, to get kids off the street, on the racetrack. You learn a lot of things about sportsmanship, about, you know, I've learned a lot about myself. I've learned so much about myself and my limits and how to control myself in certain situations, and that thing, just to build character. This is a place where you can build a lot of character. So on a typical race day, when I come out to the quarter midget track to volunteer, I usually have 2 jobs, and I do either one or both of them, and that's safetying. So I make sure all the kids are safe in the car. I have to go through seatbelts, their helmets, making sure their steering wheel is on, just everything to make sure that if they were to get into a wreck, that they're not going to get hurt. And then my other job would be race saving, so it's almost like, it's like spotting, but for everybody. So I tell them how to line up, where they need to be, when there's a caution to prevent wrecks, or if there's a red flag to make sure all the cars are going to stop on the track if somebody flipped, or something like that. So it's pretty much me communicating to the kids who are on the track racing. Racing means everything to me. You know, it's a lifestyle. I don't really remember what life was like before racing, because it's taken so much of my life, and that's why right now, being in college, it's difficult, because college takes up most of my time. It takes up most of my life, and it's consuming, and so I don't really have a lot of time like I used to have when I was in high school, middle school, elementary school, in racing. But it means the world to me. You'll meet some of the best people in your life at the racetrack. A lot of these people, I don't consider them friends, they're more like family. A lot of the women here who work in the tower and volunteer, a lot of them inspire me, and I see a lot of these people as other sets of parents that I have. So like, there's a lot of people that I've known since I was 9 who are still here, and they're like a mom to me, you know, or they're like a dad to me. These people watch over me as if I'm their children, and I watch over their children as if they're my own children.